Well, hello, my beautiful dragon family. It is Monday, so who knows when I'm going to come on, right? AndaRa here, coming to you live and for the love of dragons. And I apologize, last week got away again. I don't know how that keeps happening. I know I won't be here next week because I'm getting into the wilderness before our quantum flight group starts up. And let me just make sure I've got volume all the way up here. So I thought, well, I'm going to come on now. I had a great question this week. Hello, Eli. From one of my previous quantum flight members. And she had sent a message a couple of days ago, and it took me a while to get back to her. So I wanted to touch on it here for everybody because she had a link to, there's a beautiful woman, I believe she's from Ottawa, Canada. She has the Earth Star Academy. And she does YouTube videos. And she had one on water, Dragon Grid's update, counterattacks on Aurora water consciousness. And so within that, my student had sent me a link saying, you know, have you had any information about this? Are there Aurora Dragons? She's talking about these Aurora beings and the cosmic, or the plasmic field. Where are the dragons in that? Are they? And what is that? So sometimes when you guys ask questions, because it might not be something that's coming up in my field directly through my clients or whatever. So sometimes I have to go out and I have to listen to something that you share. And if it's, this one was 2 hours, so it took me a while to get around to it. Really beautiful, expansive things she did. And I would encourage you, if you're aware of the Auroras, or even not, if you're connected with her Earth Star Academy, want to check it out. It was a fabulous work energetically with the field of water, the cosmic waters, the cosmic ocean was information that came through for me with it, and the plasmic field. And so the question was, and I'll just read it from the message that she sent. She's wondering how the dragons are speaking through you on this topic. If you've explored regarding Aurora and plasma, she mentions here with the water, is there an Aurora dragon? I feel dragons are working or helping with us on this water topic and thought to ask. So part of what this video addressed was the purification needed of the waters on the planet, both in our bodies and on the planet itself, of the sort of, looking for the right word, thoughtless, careless, unconscious pollution of the waters in the planet with nuclear sludge, with different things. She mentioned the train derailments and chemical stuff going in the water. There's a lot of this going on, and a lot of the things going on in our own bodies, where our own bodies, are we purifying the water within them? And how do we move into our light bodies? How do we move into alignment with the fullness of ourself? And all the light that we can carry when we have these aspects in our water, because our water element is what's going to help shift us into the crystalline field. It is what moves the light force, the lightning force. It's a conductor, electrical energy. We're picking up our electromagnetic signal and amplifying that. So this woman speaks about auroras as beings, as guardians who are here as part of the starseeds that are working around the planet to do positive things. Many of those birthed here are from that field. So to answer that, if any of you have been listening to that and you're questioning about this Aurora system, are there Aurora dragons? Because typically, even if I haven't met them yet, there are dragons associated with almost every system or group of beings in the planet. They're working with them, even if they're not directly associated. They're going to be escorting them or overseeing, just being sure that they're doing positive things, that they're here in service. So with the Auroras in particular, what I felt when she described the Aurora team that came from this other place, they hold this plasmic field, that to me made a lot of sense. We've had a lot of information coming in about plasma, the plasmic field, moving up into that part of the new earth is aligning into that plasmic field. And what came really clearly was this, and she even describes like these beings that were on like a stingray formation that came out of a system and came in here. And what I perceived immediately was they had dragon escorts with them. So whether those are considered Aurora dragons because they're on the Aurora team, you could say that, but they're actually dragons that come from the cosmic oceans, that this entire team sort of emanated through and out of the cosmic oceans. That is a much larger field where even this woman was addressing the whales and the whale song and their work with the water. That in the cosmic oceans, there are cosmic whales on a much larger scale. So always take everything and macro it, right? Take it onto a bigger scale or a smaller scale, and it's usually applicable. So with the cosmic whales and this plasmic field team coming out to be stewards for this for the Earth experiment, coming to assist. I didn't see that there were specifically dragons that emanated as part of the team, as part of the field, or that are what I consider Aurora Dragons themselves. This team felt more like specific guardians, angelic beings, starseeds, but there were definitely plasmic dragons, which are like a higher octave of water dragons that we have here, moving along with them. So whether they were going to continue acting as part of the team, most likely, but they were sort of more like escorts moving along with them. So hopefully that answered the question, and it's probably begging some more questions from you guys that you can add in here in the comments, and we can talk about it on a further discussion, or if I can see them, we can add it in now. But the water element is a really important piece of our ascension journey. Not only purifying the waters, but getting to the place where, you know, the water is our emotional body. It's also likened to the feminine principle. And it's interesting because I just had this discussion with my ongoing Dragon Hearts, where we meet every month. We have a tight group that's been meeting for years. And this aspect of knowing that fire and water in this level of expression. So knowing 3D is denser, it comes into elemental factor, it comes into a physical matter form. So we've got water and fire, and they are naturally balanced with each other. But you can look at fire, water in the higher expressions as the, like the sun to the cosmic ocean, or I should say the greater central sun, the sun to our waters. So a lot of people are hiding from the sun. We're putting sunscreen all over ourselves. We don't want all the effects of the sun. They're trying to block the sun. Well, the sun is what makes us grow. It's what makes our food sources grow. It's actually what feeds electrical energy into our food sources, so we have energy in our bodies to process and function, right? When we actually move through our ascension process and move into a higher format of our light body, our original blueprint, we're not going to need food in the same way that we have. We're going to actually remember how to photosynthesize light like plants do. That'll take some evolutionary time, but knowing we're moving towards that direct hit from sunlight, because it's an electrical charge. It's like a lightning strike. It is meant to charge the water field within us, and that's the masculine principle meeting the feminine principle, that is the flow of the water, that balances and harmonizes everything. So you can take that to a bigger scale and look at our sun powering up, charging, purifying our oceans, our rivers, our lakes, all bodies of water, and the water in our bodies, and then take that even higher of the greater central sun and the cosmic oceans. And even if you've never even heard of the cosmic ocean, I encourage you, tune in and just ask your guides, like, what is this cosmic ocean she's talking about? Let the memory of it come in, of where you have been within that, what the cosmic whales are, how their sounds are. They're similar. They're dropped down in format here for us in our oceans. They're the record keepers. They are holding specific vibrational patterns, and this woman did touch on that. I love that she addressed that each whale tribe has its own song that they teach to generations and generations and generations to carry that specific grid. And for me, that's not just a grid that is part of our song lines and part of our grid lines of the earth. It's actually also our record lines. It's our history lines. They are part of the Akashic record keeping team, and they encode that. So as they experience and hold the history of the planet, they're encoding it back into the crystalline light structures that are in the underlying blueprint of this system. So loved a lot, resonated with a lot of what she shared, and I apologize that I don't know her first name. But it's the Earth Star Academy on YouTube. Beautiful, long, black-haired woman, feels of an Asian type descent, but she's in Ottawa, Canada, I believe. love her soft-spoken feminine nature of communicating, very eloquent in her words. So I encourage you to look into her stuff. She's doing some beautiful things. And I love seeing these younger beings that are here, whether they're dragons or starseeds or angelic beings, coming forward and bringing their message so much sooner in their journey. Like they're on fire, they're awake, they're ready right off the get-go as they coming in and coming into maturity as adults to add into society and for this process. So here I'm going to try and go back here because the message is tiny on my screen and see what you guys are saying here, because there were a lot of comments just about that, about what we were touching on. And I apologize that my thumb is scrolling up. I will share some channel light code art from the whales and cosmic ocean. Beautiful. We would love that, Kanaya. I encourage you to share your light codes. I love them. The one from 8/8 was phenomenal and extremely powerful. So yes, if you're getting codes. So Kanaya here, who's on the call with us, she actually is in Maui. She's one of my Quantum Flight members for this next upcoming program starting on the 26th. And definitely has some powerhouse codes that I'm encouraging her to share into the group. They're visual, beautiful, dynamic presentations, and so I look forward to having those in, Kanaya. And here's a lot, Eli. Seems like auroras are a tertiary element, much like plasma, expressing characteristics of water, air, and fire. Interesting. So if you've worked with the auroras, go ahead and add some more comments in for the thread discussion there, Eli, because I'll be honest, I haven't worked with the auroras before. For me, the word aurora was always associated with the aurora borealis and the northern lights. I don't know if they're part of the teams that affect that, but it is an elemental piece, as you said, with air and fire and water. And it does feel that the auroras are a very light framework being, so different than the dragons. But I feel like there are dragons working with their team or escorting their team, as I said, as they emanated from that cosmic ocean and came out to be of assistance here. So just wanted to touch in and answer that. If you guys have questions, always send them by email, or you can instant message me, or you can put them in the comments here in the group. It's why and how we have these discussions. Ideal every week. I have to admit, the last month I've missed a couple weeks. It's been like in every other, and I apologize for that. There's just been a lot going on with building the Quantum Flight group and getting that all aligned, and life just pulling me in all directions, and me being more in flow and allowing that rather than being on a strict scheduled thing. So I like to pop in here when it's enlivened and alive within me of what I want to talk about and share. So hopefully that gives you the insight you need. I'm feeling it would be fun, since I have a few more minutes. Let's go ahead and pull a card for today and feel, because I don't know if you're feeling this when I sit with you guys, and I'm very fully in my presence, coming off of not only that listening early this morning, but a 2-hour call with my Dragon Hearts. We did a specific alignment into our full field, the merged field, where I can't take everybody into it here that's not quite ready, but I am in a space where I'm in a full connection with my telepathic body and my full dragon aspect. So hopefully you're feeling that, and I'm practicing and working on communicating, even though I'm verbalizing here, sending out a much stronger signal directly through my telepathic body with what we're discussing, so that even if your brain doesn't cognize it and grasp some of what we're talking about ever, that it's hitting you square in the chest, like hitting your heart chakra, your solar plexus, just right in the mid-torso region, where you start to feel opening and activation of your own telepathic body, because that's really one of the major things that I can do as a guide, is as I step into higher frameworks of remembrance and connection with my light body and being, then I can hold space for that for you guys to get naturally activated into it just by being presence in sphere with me. So I am holding that where my telepathic signal is going out stronger. That will encourage your telepathic body to respond and start receiving those and activating your own, so that you get less reliant on physical realm sense of surroundings, because what my guides have shared with me is that If we want to move into 5D, we have to cut the anchor ties that we have to 3D. And one of the anchors, one of the strongest anchors that we have is our 5 senses. Sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing, right? And our intuitive gifts even, that with our clairs, we've worked with them in a certain way and they are bridging us into those higher dimensions, but they're bridging us through a system that is through the opening of our 5th chakra, through our regular bodies, and we're being primed and asked to develop and evolve into the fullness of our telepathic body, which is a higher energetic signal, doesn't break it down into the bandwidths that allow clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, all clairalience, that it doesn't need to break it down that far and shift the signal. And even going further down is into our hearing, sight, taste, touch, smell, that when we're reliant on receiving energy from our surroundings by those specific parameters, we're anchoring ourselves in 3D. We're holding ourselves back from the expansion into the full New Earth field. So just be aware of it. Just start recognizing, where am I, if I'm smelling a peach, say, and I've done this recently because I have my peach tree is just about ready, and I have hundreds of beautiful peaches that I can't wait to harvest and enjoy. My white peaches have been succulent and amazing, and I can be human and enjoy that sweet candy taste of the white peaches on my mouth or on my tongue, and the smell of it as I'm holding it up to my nose before I bite, the smell of when I know it's ripe. But that's more of a joyous experience of this body and this template. I'm learning and trying to expand into, how do I get that same information through the rest of me? Can I feel and know when my fruit is ripe without touching it, without sensing that it's falling off the tree, without anything else? Can I feel it speak to me and let me know that it's ready, where I'm energetically feeling the ripeness, the fullness of the fruit? Just as an exercise, just playing with it. So as I'm signaling that signal, that was just a little aside because I'm sending a signal telepathically and allowing a dragon to come speak to us that is going to maybe be the assistant for you. That's what I'm asking for, the assistant for you, to move into a greater connection with your telepathic body and start releasing the anchors that are holding you in 3D, with your definition of reality as it is in 3D. So, there's 2 here. There's this one and this one. Wow. So this is very interesting. I split the deck 2 places. That's how I always read. I usually get 1, but there were 2 definitely popping up and speaking to me. So we've got the Rainbow Dragon and the Womb Dragon. Now that is fascinating. The Womb Dragon is about divine alignment, remembrance, and manifestation. So if that doesn't fit what we were just talking about, I don't know what does, because this is your anchor. This is your crystalline sphere inside your Womb space with your dragon connection into all that you be. When you awaken and work with that dragon, that's your divine alignment. That's your remembrance of self and the ability to manifest as you align into your higher electromagnetic signal through that. So this is where coming online, your telepathic body, moving towards that, and the Rainbow Dragon, ethereal levity and spaciousness, because as you move into that alignment, boom, waking up. This is almost like having the 2 gateways, the furthest out gateway and the furthest in gateway, speaking to each other and saying, all right, let's open back to back, face to face, and let all of those parameters come full online on board. I love this. I don't think I've ever done a 2-card pull on a live. So ethereal levity and spaciousness, getting you into that space of all that you be, the fullness of your light, and this, the anchor through the divine alignment, remembrance, and manifestation. This is definitely on track for what you guys needed to hear today. Brief message, but a big energetic push going through to you from me for you to open and activate those pieces within yourself. Woo! Loved that one. Brief, to the point, and so potent. All right, my dears. I will see you. I'm going to try and come on I'm feeling maybe towards the end of the week, Friday or Saturday, before I head out for a week to be in the wilderness to reset and move into my next framework before my quantum flight group starts on the 26th. There's going to be a powerhouse group. All of you in my dragon family are going to feel the work that they're doing, because they are the completion team. They're coming in for some big stuff. And even though they're getting the core work and they're the core in service to themselves and humanity for next pieces, everybody in my spheres always feels some level of the work happening, whether it's with my layer dragon hearts, whether it's with my quantum flight ongoing dragon hearts, or whether it's this new program of dragon hearts. Because they're large groups, the exponential aspect, and that I'm touched into each of those spheres, it extends to for the Love of Dragons family. And so just be paying attention over the next couple of months. And all the little tidbits that I drop on the lives, because I'm having discussions weekly and picking up little pieces for you guys, little drop-ins are little golden gems or tidbits along the way. Get that breadcrumb, take it to the bank, and see how far you can go with it to receive your next level. So, sending you guys a giant, massive, energetic ball of love, fire, and water, and magnification from me. I will see you hopefully the end of the week. If not, the next time I see you. Bye for now.